How did I not know about this?
What do servers and protocols have to do with it?
How does it involve account portability?
Centralized lock-in?
Welcome back to TechTangents, your favourite STEM podcast.
Today we're going to go over a not so well-rounded topic, the Fediverse, but with the help of an old friend who has conducted a research project over the Fediverse.
Hi everyone, I'm Raghav and I'm currently an IB student who specializes in computer science, and I want to work my way up to become a data analyst in the future. Through my journey on computer science, I've conducted a research on a very interesting topic, the Fedeverse.
So if I'm understanding this correctly, the Fediverse is basically a bunch of separate social media platforms that just kind of talk to each other.
That's the gist of it, yeah. Imagine multiple platforms interconnecting through a common protocol, the ActivityPub. So users can interact across servers run by any social media.
Wait, so is it like a super social network then? Because everything sounds connected.
Kind of, but it's not a single platform. Each social media servers are independent. The super part comes from the interoperability. Your accounts, posts, followers are synced through a single social media presence. Users retain control over rules, content, and community norms, something centralized platforms don't easily permit.
Oh, so it's less like Facebook, more like a web of communications that can chat with each other.
Exactly. And ActivityPub is the glue making those conversations possible.
And ActivityPub, is it just a fancy messaging protocol like SMTP for email, right?
Wait, so it's like the Fediverse email. I post, someone receives it, and it travels.
Sort of, yes. SMTP moves emails between servers. ActivityPub moves social actions such as posts, likes, follows between Fedeverse servers. The analogy works, but remember, it handles more interactive procedures than emails.
Ah, I got it now. So it's the social protocol keeping these federated platforms talking.
And I think Mastodon started it, right?
Not exactly a clone. Mastodon, founded in 2016 by Hugo Rocco, was motivated by freedom from centralized control, not just a Twitter alternative. He wanted communities to govern themselves, not just be dictated by a single company.
Ah, so it's about autonomy, not just features. And then the W3C came in with ActivityPub?
Yes, to standardize federations across platforms. Before ActivityPub, there was OStatus, which had limitations. ActivityPub allows platforms like Mastodon, PeerTube, and PixelFed to interoperate through simplicity of this protocol whilst offering security.
And then Blue Sky came along with AT protocol. Authenticated transfer, I think.
Exactly. The AT protocol adds account portability, algorithmic choice, and cryptographic verification, filling gaps that ActivityPub didn't cover.
So AT is ActivityPub, but with identity verification and more user control.
That's one way of looking at it.
Okay, so the Fediverse is servers, clients, protocols, but what does that look like day to day? How can it be used, or how is it put together?
In the case of Mastodon, the server hosts your account and posts. ActivityPub is the protocol that lets your posts show up across other servers. And the client is the app or interface you use. All three work together so you can interact with anyone, anywhere.
And so is all of this volunteer driven then? I assume there'd be some central governance.
No, it's a global community collaborating openly. They test connections, fix bugs, improve features, and ensure platforms remain compatible.
And your ID, like your username, follows you, right? So you can move servers without losing your friends.
Exactly. Portable identity is key.
So what do people actually do on the Fediverse then?
Microblogging, videos, photos, long form publishing, basically any content that we consume on our existing social media platforms. Mastodon and Floroma for posts, PeerTube for video, PixelFed for images, Write Freely or WordPress for any long form content.
Wait, Pixelfield? Isn't that just Instagram?
It's very similar to Instagram, but federated, so you're not stuck in one walled garden.
And this solves the usual problem then. No one company owns all of your content or your social graph.
Exactly. Users can communicate freely, move between servers, govern their communities, and enjoy platform diversity.
So this isn't just about social networks.
No, not at all. It shifts power to users, impacts news distribution, digital identity, and even education, with protocols shaping how identity and data moves forward, and the Fediverse is overall influencing the broader internet.
Protocols as policy in code. Love that framing. So before this, everything was run by one company, data, moderation, experience. That's sort of like the old internet.
Yeah, like every social network owning your account, posts, and everything. I mean, isn't that how Twitter or Facebook work?
Exactly, that's centralized lock-in. The Fediverse flips it. Multiple independent servers communicating seamlessly, giving users control over accounts, data, and interactions.
But hold on, even if it's decentralized, the people who make the protocol still kind of control everything, don't they?
Oh, like the rules of the game are still written by someone else.
That's where ActivityPub shines. It's like a universal translator for social media. Servers may be independent, but they all speak the same language, if you want to put it that way. So your posts, likes, and follows propagate across various platforms reliably.
So it's not just decentralization for decentralization's sake, it's practical. Users get freedom and communities retain control.
And moderation, right? Each community decides its own rules. That's interesting.
Yep, no single corporation dictates what's allowed network-wide, and because servers federate, communities can interact without losing autonomy.
So it's almost like a federation of mini republics instead of just one big empire.
Nice, funny one. Anyway, and users can jump between republics without losing friends or posts, right?
Exactly, yeah. So federation with autonomy, that's basically the Fediverse in a nutshell.
Oh, remember the whole WhatsApp privacy drama before? That was a chaos.
Oh yeah, the agree or get out policy. I remember people panicking. WhatsApp is stealing our messages. Everyone wanted to move to like Signal and other platforms.
Well, not exactly that. WhatsApp isn't reading private messages. They were still encrypted, but the update enforced policy where Meta would be able to get your data more easily. So stuff like where you were talking from, when you were talking, who you were talking to.
Right, so not the messages, but the data around the messages. Is that like the metadata or whatever it is, it's still creepy.
And as I said before, millions decided to jump ship to platforms like Signal and Telegram, which are more encrypted.
They did for a week. Signal and Telegram saw record downloads, but there was one problem. You can't drag your entire contact list with you. That's the lock-in effect. People ended up crawling back to WhatsApp because their friends never left.
So that's the danger of centralization. You're trapped even if you want to leave.
Exactly. The Fediverse resolves this portability issue. You can move from any platform. You can keep your account, your followers, your posts. No one really keeps you hostage, if you want to put it that way.
But hold on, even if it's decentralized, the people who make the protocol still kind of control everything, don't they?
Oh, like the rules of the game are still written by someone else.
Yeah, I get what you mean by that. So ActivityPub defines how posts, likes, follows move between servers. So that means they kind of have control over a lot of the things. So it's still decentralized to the user level, but it's centralized in terms of the rules.
So it's like football. Every team is independent, but they're still following FIFA's rulebook.
Yeah, perfect analogy. That's why some see protocols as a new kind of power structure, saying that this doesn't really solve the centralization issue.
So that's where Blue Sky comes in though, right? They weren't happy with ActivityPub.
Exactly, yeah. They built the AT protocol, which is the authenticated transfer protocol, which includes the account portability, algorithmic choice, and cryptographic verification.
Wait, so you can actually choose your algorithm, like, give me a feed that's only cats. Isn't that interesting?
That is kind of interesting.
In theory, yeah. So you can even build custom algorithms. It's really transparent and it's all about user choice.
So they're saying ActivityPub is great, but it's too limited for the future.
Yeah, so they want to be modular and scalable. Whether they succeed is another story, but they want to fix the scalability issue very early.
Now, I'm pretty sure there must be like a plot twist. Like, Meta, the king of centralization, is dabbling in the Fediverse with threads.
I don't know, it kind of feels like so ironic. The company that everyone blames for monopolies is suddenly embracing decentralization.
Yeah, it's quite ironic. So Meta introduced their integration with ActivityPub in threads. On the surface, it's like they're playing nice, but it's really just Meta's attempt to stay relevant using their least popular platform to test the Fediverse.
Yeah, like, Don't Leave Us were part of the Fediverse too.
But if Meta runs their servers, they still control moderation and algorithms though, right?
That's the concern. On one hand, it legitimizes the Fediverse. On the other hand, these centralized policies might still sneak into the decentralized space too.
So Meta could say, look, we're federated while still bending the rules.
So it's like a win, but a risk at the same time.
But this goes way beyond memes and posts though, doesn't it?
Definitely. These protocols can power digital identity systems. Imagine replacing sign-in with Google with a federated login, which is like safer, portable, not owned by a company.
And way better than captchas. AI cracks those like nothing these days.
Exactly, yeah. So for the Fediverse style verification could be used across Web3, education, and even government systems. Combine this with biometric verifications like Sam Altman's Orb from Tools for Humanity, and you can solve major trust and security issues online.
So basically, the Fediverse is sneaking its way into the backbone of Web 3.0.
Yeah, I strongly believe so.
So the Fediverse isn't just an alt Twitter thing anymore. It's more like the next phase of the internet.
A sort of shift from empires, so to speak, to communities, from monopolies to federations.
That seems quite liberating.
Yeah, it's about decentralization, autonomy, and user control. Whether it's Mastodon, Blue Sky, Threads, or whatever, these protocols are what are going to shape the future of Web3.
Okay, I'll admit it. I went into thinking the Fediverse was just Twitter but nerdy. But it's a whole philosophy, ethics, and a lot more.
Yeah, I was exactly the same. It's politics, technology, identity, all rolled into one, something that I completely didn't know about before.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. It's not just software, but it's like a movement for what the reimagined web could be.
Anyway, let's wrap it up for today. So Rowan, what's one thing you learned today?
The Fediverse is going to be a really important part of the future. It's not just something that's irrelevant. So what about you, Pranav? What's one thing that you found really interesting today? Perhaps something that you didn't know before?
I think it's the importance of Fediverse, and the fact that what I found fascinating was definitely the fact that we can choose our algorithms, because a lot of the times we get things we don't want to see, and if we get control over what we can see, I think that can have a brilliant impact on us and how we perceive the world.
Anyway, thank you so much, Raghav, for coming on to our podcast. I didn't know any of this before, so I've definitely learned a lot, and I think Pranav has as well.
We hope you enjoyed this episode and learned something new. In the meantime, make sure to like, share, subscribe, follow, share, subscribe, like, and all that across all our platforms.
And if you have any more questions, leave a comment down below and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.